Don't let me down. Ladies and gentlemen, we're now to the part of the season where you get wildfires on the west coast of the United States of America that look like volcano eruptions. And if I had to take a guess where a volcano eruption would take place in the west coast of the United States, my guess has been Lesson Peak. And Lesson Peak is smoking. But nobody knows when a volcano eruption would happen on the west coast. The last one that happened was in 1915. And it happened at Lesson Peak, so I don't want to freak anybody out because this is going to be a wild and dangerous week. Starting today, running through the 4th of July, expect Mars, Uranus, and Saturn to be in a knockdown, drag-out brawl. And, just buckle up, man. It's going to be a wild week. And, hey, what a great time for me to have my July fundraiser. I do it every single month, and I do it like the week before the 4th. Of every month, because that's when rent is, and you guys contribute, and I continue to bring you the best news out there possible on all subjects, no matter how doomy they may be. So if you would like to contribute, and I'm going to get more aggressive on it this month, pretty please contribute. I got a snail mail. I would love to get letters in the mail. That always makes me happy. Even if it's haters, because that means they care. I got a PayPal, a Venmo, a CashApp, a Patron. That's pretty much all I do with my life is so that's how I get so good at it. I've only got $1,767 left to raise with 6 days left to go. And thank you very much to Arnica and everybody in Asteroid Fight Club. At the end of the world, this is definitely my favorite job and the job I would like to have. Although I don't think it's the end of the world, but it's kind of like end of the world week. Although we'll make it through. Whoa. And in this super dangerous week, expect and the possibility of some type of military conflict escalating. India shifts 50,000 troops to China border in historic move, and China is supposedly blaming America for the aggression. And for the life of me as your planetary defense commander, I cannot understand why the superpowers China, Russia, and America cannot get along with the pandemic and all the problems we face. It really seems like teamwork and cooperation are the way to go, but, making it through 2021 without World War III breaking out is definitely one of the Asteroid Fight Club goals. And we are tracking a heat wave on the west coast, and on the east coast, we've got two possible tropical cyclone development thingies. That could be, depressions or tropical storms or hurricanes. But right now, it looks like the atmospheric defense team / prayer warrior / Asteroid Fight Club is doing an excellent job. Here we're talking about Craig Setzer for the final week of June, watching two Atlantic features. Low pressure area between Bermuda and the U.S., regardless of development. No South Florida impacts. Well, South Florida isn't everything, man. If you're in the Carolinas, I would be on the lookout for potential rain and wind coming through. But you can see that hurricane season is starting to heat up, although we have no major thing to worry about over in the United States. But Mexico is getting hit hard by Hurricane Enrique right now. The West Coast isn't the only ones getting hit by a super hot heat wave, although it's not as hot as the West Coast one. The upper Northeast is going to have a heat advisory for the next 3 days. We've got two sunspots on the sun right now, with a third one growing on the limb, and we have a solar sector boundary crossing. Earth is about to cross into a fold in the heliospheric current sheet, a vast wavy structure of interplanetary space, separating regions of opposite polar magnetic polarity. This is called a solar sector boundary crossing. It is expected on June 30th and could trigger minor geomagnetic activity around Earth's poles. And we just had a coronal mass ejection yesterday. We issued an all-quiet alert. Almost immediately, something exploded. Solar physics can be hard to predict ahead of time, y'all. During the early hours of June 27th, a magnetic filament snapped near the sun's western limb, hurling part of itself into space. So you get a big click, click, bang, boom. And with all the weird heat wave going on in the North Pacific, I do think it's interesting that so far earthquakes and volcanoes have been pretty quiet respectively compared to, but, we definitely, like I said, this is going to be a wild and weird week. If I put out full red alerts for a single week saying, hey, this could be big deal, so play defense and try to stay cool, usually it pans out that I was correct. So please play defense and try to stay cool. And so this side is having record-breaking heat that will probably peak out on Monday or Tuesday, but you will get 100 degrees up into Washington for about 10 days. And then this side will get a lot of bursts of big bad rain that will cause some heavy flooding in multiple areas. So be ready. We are jacking and tracking multiple areas. As we've discussed, we've got one area heading towards Puerto Rico that we'll keep an eye on. We've got this thing floating towards the Carolinas that we're keeping an eye on. And then we've got Hurricane Enrique, which is bringing massive flooding to Jalisco down in Mexico. And then you can just see a lot of moisture being pushed up from multiple regions, 1 region, 2 region, 3 regions, up into the United States of America. And you got a lot of rain moving through a lot of areas in the United States of America and even in parts of Canada and Mexico. So, and remember, like I said, the 28th through the 4th is our main area of WTF. Be ready for just about anything, but stay cool and keep your sense of humor. Hey, it's like end of the world all the time. Although, we make it to the next day almost every day. So that's good. And so I'm trying to be jokey, but sometimes when you force jokes, they're not that funny. Hey, did I mention my fundraiser? Man, pandemic, World War III, major heat wave, volcanoes, floods, you name it, hurricanes. I got to do it at the start of every month. Okay, but yeah, look at this flash flooding watch that extends from New Mexico. New Mexico, you guys are probably going to get a whole lot of rain. That could cause a whole lot of flooding because you guys don't normally get a ton of rain. But look how this snake flash flood warnings extends all the way up to the Great Lakes down into Mexico. And so here's your super duper major heat wave. And so we had a lot of records get smashed yesterday, but the heat wave is supposed to peak out on possibly Monday or Tuesday. And it's still going to stay really hot for a lot of areas for a while. But if I had to take wild guesses at stuff, I still think November will probably be the worst month of the whole year. But part of the next week or two will be the most challenging time up until November. So, we live in a wild world. The timeline we're in is definitely crazy. Did you think it would be this crazy 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago? I don't know. I thought we would get along better, but what did I know? Here, we're watching a 3-hour time lapse of the lava fire in California. Yeah, that's right. They actually named it the lava fire. Very interesting. But I would guess they won't say something is a volcano eruption until we see actual lava. I mean, that's a total guesstimation. I don't know. Our government's weird, man. You knew that already. And the lava fire, #weed, is happening by Mount Shasta. So we've got fires happening, definitely around the volcano ranges. Tomer Berg wants to say that a noteworthy aspect of the Pacific Northwest heat wave is how some of the hottest temperatures are found near the coast when, climatology, these areas are usually relatively cooler locations. Yeah, things are weird. Parts of New Mexico, if models are correct, could see about 7 inches of rain, which could definitely cause some problems for not only New Mexico, but parts of Lubbock, Texas as well. Some guesstimates have had anywhere from 115 to 118 degrees in parts of Oregon and Washington over the next 48 hours. We'll have to stay tuned to see which is correct. Hurricane Enrique is causing some problems. And remember, if you see a giant wave, rush up to it with your camera. Or maybe not. I don't know. It's being facetious. Can you spell facetious? I can't. Ben's Weather asking, wow, was that a fire or did it erupt? Sad face. Because Michael Lane Mitchell posted a picture of the Shasta fire, the lava fire, and yeah, I mean, it kind of looks like a volcano eruption. But like I said, just be prepared for the weirdest, wildest wildfire season in American history and the possibility of erupting volcanoes, because there is a volcano range that extends up through Mexico and Guatemala into California, Oregon, Washington, and Canada into Alaska. I don't think it's the end of the world. If it was, I would probably be doing something else. Oregon roads versus heat wave. The heat wave is winning. Holy cow, Washington County scanner For your information, this just happened in front of our house 10 minutes ago. The house shook, and we thought it was an earthquake, but no, the road is so hot, it literally buckled. We called non-emergency line. And so, yeah, dude, it's going to cause a lot of infrastructure problems. As the upper Pacific Northwest is having kind of Arizona weather, which it's not used to. Philip Papin is those yapping. Cool stuff about the weather. As record-breaking as today was for the Pacific Northwest, he's talking about yesterday. Tomorrow, which is today, is forecast to be even hotter for the metro areas of Seattle and Portland. The 00Z HRR has both KC and KPDX breaking both their all-time records tomorrow on the 28th, which is today. And he says it's ridiculous, but, the future, it's ridiculous, man. And so, like I said, we were watching out for some pretty nasty temperatures in multiple spots. And so to read where all records have been broken, we should probably wait until Wednesday because they're going to be broken and broken again. But you're going to see areas like 116. Yeah, it's going to be wild. Michelangelo was my favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Smoke from the Raphael fire up near Flagstaff is blowing southward over the Phoenix area this evening. The smoke is trapped below a temperature inversion nearly 16,000 feet above the surface and is mixing down towards the surface, creating the hazy conditions. Smoky haze all in my brain. Lately, things, they don't seem the same. The earth is acting funny, and I don't know why. Excuse me while I kiss the sky. Danny Rojo's gardening, letting us know the Shevulich volcano in Kamchatka, Russia, lava dome Dolphin 2 started to collapse. Oh, well, that's one more thing we got to deal with, I guess. Canada broke its hottest temperature ever in the history of the country, I believe, at 114 degrees American or 45.5 degrees Canadian. That's what the C stands for. Canadian. Britain bans crypto exchange Binance's UK operation. Huh. You got the Shell fire. Firefighters in Fire County, which isn't really county, continue to work at containing the fire off Interstate 5 south of Grapevine Road. 2% containment. Some people have reason to believe the outer interstellar asteroid Oumuamua dropped sensors and is tracking us and watching everything we do, and probably trying to sell us cryptocurrency because it came around back in the day. Anyway, Jerry Dugan wants to believe. Kareem Goudagai is breaking. An evacuation order has now been issued for the lower-lying sections of Pemberton due to rapid snowmelt causing the river to spill its bank. And this is in Canada. And so, with all the hot heat in Canada, it's melted the usual snow, and they have evacuation orders as the river be rising. Hey, dude, the U.S. track and field trials came to a halt Sunday afternoon because the temperatures got too hot. Their shoes were melting. I made that up. But I mean, not the part about them canceling the trials. You got the rough and tumble Volcano in California, I believe. Fresno. Fire's 125 acres. And especially with 4th of July coming up, I don't know. Like I said, it's going to be a wild, dangerous week. You got the Sky Fire in Colorado. You got fires happening on a lot of places in the West, really. And, it doesn't matter who is president of the United States or commander-in-chief. It seems like we are always hitting Iran, Iraq, and Syria with some types of bombs and drones. It's just how it goes, I guess. Because nobody wants peace on Earth. Or, I don't know, things are complicated. AI 6-year, letting us know the Pacific Northwest Heatwave, Washington. All that heat is buckling the freeways. Heat equals expansion. Here's a look at the concrete panel that popped up on northbound I-5 at I-405 in Tukwila. Crews are removing the damaged panel and filling it back in. No estimated time for these lanes and ramp back open. Fortunately, not much of a backup at the moment. It's like every day is infrastructure day, I guess. Oh, I mistimed it. Bang. But yeah, so just try to stay aware. Keep your defense up. Keep positive thoughts. Because it's going to be a wild, 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 wild week. You're going to have Mars, Saturn, Uranus duking it out. So you never know what's going to happen. Boom. Ouch. And so I'll be here bringing you guys the news and all the things that happen. Trying to do it, putting a little sugar in the spoon, because these are crazy days. And yeah, it's going to be kind of bleak for a week or 10 days. Just hang in there. This too shall pass. Look how dark and black it gets over here. That is all that heat. And so all the heat over here creates all the moisture over here as Earth tries to overcompensate, you know? Okay, great. Yeah, I mean, we live in dangerous times. And so hopefully things will start to improve in 2023. But we have reason to believe that the next 2 years are definitely going to be wild. You know what I'm saying? And so let's try and stay cool and hang in there and do what we do best. Asteroid Fight Club. Okie dokie. Actually, Miss Wartooth, I think I'm decent at spotting deep fakes. Anywho, I am your Planetary Defense Commander, and I'll be here doing what I do. I do this 24/7. Well, I do take some sleeps and naps. But if you'd like to contribute to keep THORnews up and running through July, it's definitely going to be a challenging month. I love getting letters in the mail. I got a PayPal, a Venmo, a CashApp, a Patron. With 6 days left to go, only $1,767 left to raise. Thank you very much to Arnica and everybody in Asteroid Fight Club. You guys have been utterly amazing, and you're the reason I do this. So I will talk to you guys in the near future, but definitely, red alert, danger days are here. God bless everyone. May the force be with you. Let us live long and prosper. And the rumor is July 12th to the 14th will be good love making out days if you cuddle and stuff. If you get so lucky, because you're going to get the Mars, Venus, and then a moon conjunction. We'll see, though. My love life has been not so hot for the last 3.5 years, but you didn't need to know that. Okay, talk to y'all soon.